I'm sure they must have transferred Miss Andrews here by now. So that means that both Mr. Engarde and Miss Andrews are in this detention center. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Dude, this is Mr. Wright. I hope you can get me off the hook tomorrow. I'm counting on you. I hope so too. Edgeworth just dropped a bombshell on me by saying that Juan Cuida was killed by an assassin, and that the assassin's client is this man, Matt Engarde. What's wrong, Mr. Engarde? There is something I must know with 100% certainty. You seem kind of different. You're totally not like your usual lawyer self, dude. About the press conference. You mean the one where Juan was gonna dress up as a nickel samurai? Yeah, I heard a little more about it from Miss Andrews. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting grade had been revealed. Could you please fill me in on what the secret is? Please? Uh-oh. Whoa! I knew this was coming. Mr. Nick, don't tell me. Cyclops. You said a secret, right? But I don't have any idea what it is. Do you, dude? Did you know about Mr. Cuida and Miss Andrews' relationship? Well, it's all over the tabloids, dude. But I don't know any of the details, if that's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care what Juan did with his life. Miss Andrews, she had a purpose in mind when she started seeing Mr. Cuida. Her mentor was Mr. Cuida's manager. Miss Andrews was gonna get Miss Celeste's Impact's suicide note from him. Celeste, does that jog any memories? Dude, I suddenly just got totally hungry. You up for a pizza? My treat.
Mr. Nick, what's a piazza? Is it kind of like a pea, green pea?
Let's go eat one later, okay? Arg, I got caught up by the pizza dude at the shop. That's too bad. Well, how about we get our minds off this topic and talk about something else, okay? Mr. Engarde, are you connected to Miss Impact's suicide in some way? Really? That's all I can do? Okay, well. Goodbye, I guess.
Oh, Mr. Wright, please, you have to help me.
Uh-oh. Mr. Powers?
What happened? Why are you here?
You see, I got roped into this somehow.
What?
And now I'm gonna testify at tomorrow's trial.
So the decisive witness is Mr. Powers?
I was talking with the detective until a little while ago, and I was on my way home. And all of a sudden, you were under arrest, and I was brought back here.
Oh.
They said my face and whole self in general looked suspicious or something.
Well, I guess I can see how they thought you looked suspicious.
Sigh, I'm just a normal guy on an exercise show for kids. Is that a crime?
So, about this testimony you're giving, what are you gonna talk about?
I really don't know yet. But it sounds like I saw something pretty important from what they tell me.
You saw something important. What was it?
Well, the detective told me not to talk about it. You can't tell anyone, and especially not that lawyer, he said.
Who do you think is that lawyer the detective was talking about?
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's me.
Ding 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 ding. Yeah, you got it.
Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya and myself are your only two allies in this whole world, but it's alright.
Ouch, I don't really have a lot of friends, do I?
This is gonna do a lot of damage to Matt, you know. Because he's got that refreshing like a spring breeze image going.
But what is he really like?
Well, let's see. Matt's always kind of a player with the women. He would never really turn a pretty face away, if you know what I mean. He'd always say it's just a game to justify himself.
What? How horrible. That's unforgivable.
Ow! Sorry, didn't mean to offend you. But you know, he said once that there's only one person in the world who won't swoon over me.
One person wouldn't swoon over him.
His manager, you know, Miss Adrian Andrews.
Why is Mr. Powers suddenly looking kind of energetic?
You see, I'm actually a sucker for gossip. I mean, celebrities in their world have this dazzling sort of image, right?
A dazzling sort of image, but aren't you a part of that dazzle, Mr. Powers?
No, I'm more of a hairy, sweaty, smelly, brutish kind of guy, you see. But it's okay, really. I get to hear plenty of gossip about a lot of the other stars around me as things happen.
Well, that's true.
Oh, hey, so did you hear about this yet? About Miss Andrews' mentor and her suicide?
You mean Miss Impacts?
We heard something about how her wedding was cancelled.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about it a little the other day, about the mysterious death. Hey, Mr. Wright, why don't you ask me about that? Go on, go ahead.
Mr. Powers is so charged up, his skin is practically glowing with their shit. Yeah.
Hey, so have you heard this? Celeste left a suicide note. And they say that Juan went and hid it.
We heard about that in court today. But there wasn't any actual proof that she had left a note.
Well, this is what I think. I think that something bad was written on that note. Something bad for Juan, that is.
Something bad for Mr. Creator?
Why do you figure so?
Well, before she died, Celeste talked with a few of her friends. And she said, it looks like I got caught up with a truly insidious man.
A truly insidious man? Did she mean Mr. Creator by that?
Well, there's no one else that fills the bill, right? That would be reason enough for him to hide the suicide note.
I see. Well, that's some good info. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Engarde and Miss Andrews, they're both at the detention center right now. There are still things I don't understand or know about, I'm sure. I have to get to the two of them and to tell you. I have to get the two of them to tell me everything. There you go. Let's go back here. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Oh, it's you. I'm sorry to be visiting at such a late hour. But there are a few questions I absolutely have to ask you tonight. Me? I thought your client was maths. I'm sure Miss Andrews knows something. She can't be clueless about the secret Miss Greta had on Mr. Engarde. I'd like to ask you about my Engarde if you don't mind. Mr. Wright, you still don't know, do you? The real him, I mean. You seem to bear a lot of resentment towards Mr. Engarde. If that's the case, then why did you become his manager? And why would you become intimate with his rival? That has nothing to do with this case. Nothing. About Miss Celeste Impacts. I had finally put her death behind me, and now, thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface. I'm sorry. Yes, I was shocked by her suicide. And it's true that when I heard the rumor that Juan was the one who had hidden her suicide note, I began to draw close to him. I wanted to get her suicide note back, and to burn it. You wanted to burn it, but why? I didn't want it to spread just like another piece of gossip. But I never held any murderous intent towards Juan. I would never do something so stupid. A suicide note, huh? I wonder what it said. Why did you try to frame Mr. Engarde? That's simple, because he's the killer, that's why. Isn't it the duty of every good citizen to inform the police?
But there had to be another way.
The police are excellent at doing their job, so they figure it out, right? Yes, they're so good that they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celeste's death.
Miss Andrews.
Well, I know you're not the type of person to do something without a reason, so please, tell me why you did what you did. Revenge.
Huh? Did you say something just now?
Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, a Cyclock, huh? Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer. To be honest, you're more like my enemy.
But
I'm sure I just heard Miss Andrews say Revenge. Huh. I guess, I'll have to worry about that later. Oh! Hey!
Mr. Nick, your phone!
I don't like the sound of this ringtone right now. It sounds kind of ominous.
It's probably just your imagination. You should really pick it up, Mr. Nick. It could be important.
Hello?
We got a big problem, pal.
What's wrong?
I'm on my way to your office right now.
Okay. Hey, wait a sec. Why is he coming here?
It's terrible. I don't know what to say, pal. It's the end, I say. I'm gonna... Oh. I got here faster than I thought.
Hey.
No time to relax now, pal. I'm confused as anything here.
Well, what happened?
We got him. We know who bought that spy camera.
Eh?
Eh?
This quickly?
And this bear is what gave him away, pal.
The bear.
I figured it out, pal. I figured that we should have been looking at the bear instead of the camera.
But wasn't it Mr. Edgeworth that figured? Shh, Pearls. And go on.
There's only one person who bought one of those bears who's raised this crime. Who is it? Who would be so rude just to spy on the president in their room?
Engarde.
Huh? Engarde. You're quiet. That's who, pal.
And here I thought things couldn't get any worse. Are you sure you heard right? That the person who bought this bear was...
I heard it from a department store clerk, pal. This is a credit card receipt for the purchase. It's for $3,800, pal. That's an exact match to the price of that stuffed bear.
A receipt? That's all you have?
Nah, it's not just a receipt, pal. The store clerk said so himself. He told me I'm sure I sold that bear to Mr. Engarde. I mean, the clerk even got Mr. Engarde's autograph out of it, pal. So I'm sure the person that bought the stuffed bear was Mr. Engarde himself.
My sight is failing me. This can't be. Oh boy. So what about the spy camera we found?
Ah, that was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywhere. But for now, I guess I can give these back to you for you to file away into evidence.
Great.
I know you don't want to give up, pal.
I didn't think it was possible. The person who put the spy camera in Juan Creator's room was Engarde.
Why would Mr. Engarde do something like this? I bet it was to catch Miss Andrews and Mr. Quida in one of their rendezvous.
I bet it's not good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera.
Are you gonna see him? Mr. Engarde, I mean?
Yes.
I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder what we will find out next.
I'm scared myself, but I have to put on a good face for Pearls. Engarde, what in the world have you done? Alright. See you later, detective. You're working really late, you know. It's already past 10 p.m., dude. I think it's time you told me the truth. Relax, don't you know that ignorance is bliss? But if you really want to know, let's talk. Alright. Let's talk for real. On guard, Matt. Here we go. Now, let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Queda had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed? I told you before, dude. I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on. I was in the middle of a nap. Don't lie to me. Huh? I know you paid close attention to Mr. Corrida, especially on that night. Someone used his camera to secretly film Mr. Quado's room the night of the murder. Secretly film? What? And then sent the images the camera took with this transmitter. Wow, but dude, where was this camera you talk about hidden? What, you forgot?
The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan.
I guess one had a few of those kinds of fans too, huh, dude?
Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan.
You sure, dude? Who else could it be from?
The person who gave this bear to Mr. Creator was... I choose you. Mr. Engarde, don't you know this bear from somewhere?
I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude.
But he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend?
What else did the bear tell you?
He says that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. Engarde.
But if I didn't know how you work in court, I think I was in some serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg.
Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet.
Well, do you have any proof you want to show me first?
Here's proof that it was you who put the camera inside the bear. A little receipt. I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. Engarde. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear.
Dude, all you can tell from this is I spent $3,800. I go to that department store all the time, okay? This $3,800, this could be the toothbrush I bought that one time.
A $3,800 toothbrush?
It's ivory, and it's got elephant hair for bristles.
Ew, elephant hair? Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyway, the store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph, did you not?
Dude, you should have said that earlier. Can I ask you one thing?
Yes?
You're my lawyer, right, dude? So, if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that?
Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you.
Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay?
No, not yet. I haven't asked you why you set the camera up yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential.
So, what are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna find out what I want to know, because I must. The reason you hid this camera in Mr. Creator's room and filmed it in secret is... because of the, Gossip Land.
Adrian Andrews?
There's a rumor going around. Miss Andrews and Mr. Creator were having secret meetings.
But
you, who is keeping tabs on Mr. Creator, you were going to reveal this as a fact and turn it into a scandal, isn't that right?
But dude, you can be such a moron.
Huh?
Oh man, Mr. Lawyer, dude, that kind of scandal, that's the good stuff. That's what we in the industry call juicy.
The good stuff? Juicy?
Look, we can get publicity without spending a penny with that kind of stuff. I mean, if people stop paying attention to us, then it'd be the end, dude.
Too bad that wasn't your intention.
What are you talking about?
I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent, but it wasn't. You didn't spy on Mr. Creator because of Miss Andrews, and there's only one reason I can think of for you to do such a thing. The real reason you set up that camera in Mr. Creator's room was... to witness the murder? Right? To see the murder happen.
What is this card?
Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelly the Killer. I'm sure you know of him, don't you?
Shelly the Killer? That's ridiculous. Why would I know some shady scumbag like him?
If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? This is it. I'm finally starting to get to the truth. I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Mr. Engarde, I know why you know Mr. the Killer. It's because... since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So, how? How would you know something like that? It's because you're his client. That's why. You hired Shelly the Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Creda. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is... you, Madame Engarde.
Sigh. Here I was trying to be a good boy for you, dude. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought. Anyway.
Mr. Engarde, you really did hire...
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna console myself, okay?
Consult myself?
Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway.
About time for what?
I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude.
How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Matt Engarde.
What? What the heck?
Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have.
You really... So, you are Shelly the Kittle's client?
You didn't really think I would dirty my own hands in this, did you?
What do you mean?
And that woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself. Tried to stick the crime on me. I didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer?
You're lying. What a terrible...
It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on, and let us grown-ups talk more adult things.
Why? Why did you hide the video camera and...
A weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian.
He knew about Miss Andrews' secret.
But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins.
What?
Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins are above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding a sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me? How much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess?
And that's why...
Yes, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crimes he recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. That's right, that video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright?
Why would you do something so wrong?
Because I'm a grown-up and I can. Good enough for an answer for you, little girl?
Not really.
Why? Why would you kill Mr. Greta?
Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they?
This is all because of that press conference, isn't it?
If Mr. Greta had been able to give it, then Miss Engarde's secret would have...
Ah, well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know? I had no interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit, it crept up on me. And then the situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought.
And that's how Mr. Greta ended up dead?
Let me tell you something, brother. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used. Used and thrown away. Put on a sweet innocent face and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it. The assassin too. Oh, and how can I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone all working their butts off for me. Mad on guard. Ah, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet.
How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked if you had killed Juan Greta, and you answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone.
Hey now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was that tequila guy, right? All I'm guilty of is taking a catnap in my room.
You killed Mr. Creator.
I dare you to say that in court tomorrow.
Grrr.
Ah, but too bad. You can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You could always drop my case or refuse to represent me. How does that sound? But you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you absolutely can do.
Mr. Kabaya.
You wouldn't want to test the killer. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You could end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose.
You scoundrel.
So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I would give it all my tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution.
I'll get you for this.
That's such a cliche phrase. Juan said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how well things turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer.
Maya, what am I supposed to do? And now?
Now you finally found it.
The starting line of this case. Edgeworth.
I don't care for the horrid atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct.
Oh. Well, right. What are you going to do? If you plan on changing your strategy...
No! We can't do that. That's right. He's holding my hostage.
What should I do?
That's not something I can answer for you.
But, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right, only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago, at that time, I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was. And that is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt that I didn't go to law until I knew what a prosecutor really was.
And now, right, it's your turn. My turn? What is this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own. I'm a lawyer. But to fight for someone who is clearly a killer, man on guard, that man is really ARG. It doesn't matter who, every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Isn't that the basis of our judicial system? Proper defense. But what exactly is that? Is it where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery?
Sigh, ironic that you of all people should say a thing.
Isn't that exactly how you fought for your claims up until now? Well, that may be true, but that's because I believed my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get on guard an acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all. I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who were suffering and in pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win the case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do.
Right, would you get a hold of yourself? You have it all wrong.
Huh?
We aren't some sort of heroes. We're only humans, you and I.
You want to save someone? That's something easier said than done, would you say? But you are a defense attorney. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That is all you can do. People like you and Francesca von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict, for a man I clearly know to be guilty. Francesca, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record. That's all. And, isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You're so petty. I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. However, you're mistaken. What do you...
Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as perfect record were meaningless.
What? I don't believe you. Are you saying that is why you left the prosecutor's office? But then, why? Why are you here now?
The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. I have faith you'll see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you will be powerless to change the ending of this story. Oh, Mr. Nick, the transceiver. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Now then, Mr. Attorney, do you wager you can obtain acquittal tomorrow? My, what is the matter, Mr. Attorney? Don't sense your usual anger this time.
Tell me, please, why are you holding Maya hostage for Mr. Engarde's sake? Why are you doing this for that cold-blooded killer? Right?
Please don't misunderstand things. He is my client.
Don't toy with me. A man who hires an assassin is just as much of a killer himself.
I believe you are asking me for a reason as to why I'm doing what I am.
Yeah.
This is what I like to call my aftercare.
What the heck is an aftercare?
My name carries a certain amount of honor and dignity, Mr. Attorney. I take a great care to ensure that no suspicion falls upon my clients for my handiwork. That is what is called the client relations, and it is a part of an assassin's duty.
An assassin's duty?
We were unlucky this time when my client was arrested as a suspect. As a result, I did what I had to do to enlist your expert help, Mr. Attorney, and to ensure that you would do everything in your power to the very end.
What is your name?
I believe I told you once before, however.
You did, but
my name is the Killer. Sherry the Killer.
You're Sherry the Killer?
Please keep in mind you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As a Killer, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail to keep up your end of the bargain,
Maya!
It would be my duty as an assassin to see to it she receives a nice long nap.
No.
Now then, if you excuse me, if someone were to chase a signal back to me, it would be quite troublesome.
Mr. Maya.
I don't know what to say.
Edgeworth, did you hear that? At the end of that transmission. Huh? Oh, that. It sounded like a cat. A cat? It can't be! That cat! Can it... What is it? I think I know where Shelly the Killer is holding my hostage. Edgeworth, have all police units head for Engarde Mansion immediately. But, alright, you hurry over as well then. Don't lose your hope yet, Pearls. The fight has only just begun.
Yeah!
Let's go. Ah, the music stopped. Oh man. Maya!
Please on service, Mr. Maya. We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape.
Assuming he's still in the area. I can't believe it. That butler. All this time he was the killer. He and Engarde were working together all this time.
I'm sure they had worked out a contingency plan ahead of time.
Oh, it's a figurine of a bear. But there are a lot of cuts in it for some reason.
A bear? Isn't it more of a thing of Aristocrata? Why would something like this be here?
Right, look down. There's a little pet door installed here. Ah, I'm sure that's for Shu.
Do you think that this came through that little door?
This door, it's locked.
Well, I'm pretty used to breaking doors down by now. Let's go, Edgeworth. Arg, there's no one here.
From the looks of this room, I would say this is Engarde's private lounge. Look at this, right?
An antenna for sending and receiving radio signals and a VCR. Check inside the desk. If there's a tape, it would be an important piece of evidence. If we're lucky, it will have the moment the crime was committed recorded on it.
I'm sorry, but the tape deck is empty. There's no tape to be found.
No, but there's no mistake that someone used it to record something. Looks like someone took the tape we're looking for and escaped with it. Okay. What else can we examine? Is there another place we can go to? Oh, here we go. We've searched all over, but it looks like he got away.
I'm sorry. Looks like he slipped out of our grasp this time.
And now we've lost our only lead.
Don't give up yet. That little girl is looking to you to be her pillar.
Which one? Yeah, you're right.
We're close, I can tell. We've already set up checkpoints along every route leading out of this district. Leave the rest to us.
Maya. What's this? This looks like a picture of Miss Impax. With love, Celeste.
Miss Impax? You mean...
Yes, Mr. Creator's former manager.
Why would a picture of Miss Impax be here in Mr. Engarde's mansion?
And why does it say with love? This might be a clue. What's wrong, Pearls?
But please let me see that picture frame.
Huh? What's so special about the frame?
On the back, there's something written on the back of the frame. Maya. It's Mr. Maya. She left us a message.
What? I thought you'd come. I know you would. Now listen up. You better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever. I'm fine, so you don't need to worry. There's so much I wanted to write, but I don't think I have a lot of time left. Pearly, you're there too, right? Make sure you help Nick, okay? Someone's gotta watch out for the helpless slunk. That's it for now, Nick. I guess I'll talk to you guys later.
No! Mr. Maya! Stop. Right? What's wrong? Why the blank stare?
Oh, nothing.
We've searched the house, and this is the last room. Looks like he eluded us.
Edgeworth.
Yes?
As far as clues go, I think this is about all I'm gonna get. But I'm still short one last thing.
And what is that?
One last Cyclock. Miss Andrews' Cyclock. If I could just find out what secret she's holding, I think I stand a chance in court tomorrow. To blow this case wide open and expose the truth.
I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center.
Thanks, Edgeworth. Well, let's go, Pearls. It's time to open that last lock.
Good evening, Mr. Wright.
What's wrong? You look ill. Miss Andrews, I have come to remove your Cyclock.
Cyclock?
I want to know, and you will tell me, your secret.
Fine, go ahead. Try to break me if you can.
With pleasure. Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. Engarde for the murder?
I've already told you countless times. It's because I thought Mav was the killer.
No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. Engarde. Miss Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge.
So you're saying I was taking my revenge on Matt?
That's why?
What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for.
Miss Andrews, a woman who lives by being dependent on other people, there is something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. It's pretty obvious, I think. Celeste? There is only one catalyst that could cause such strong feelings, and even revenge. That is Miss Impact's suicide.
What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager.
On top of that, the one who hid her suicide note was also Juan. What does this all have to do with Matt? You're right, you haven't mentioned him yet. But for you to hate Mr. Engarde, it would mean that he must have had some relation to Miss Impacts and her suicide. Can you explain to me this relation between Celeste and Matt? This is a photo of Miss Impacts, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though.
What?
With love, Celeste. This is Miss Impacts' handwriting, isn't it? Where did you find this? No, that's alright. It was a rhetorical question. Yeah, it is. I found this at Mr. Engarde's mansion. And after all this time, my last remaining secret has been revealed. Yeah, buddy. Celeste, she was supposed to get married to Juan. Yes, but I heard that it didn't work out.
Because Mr. Creator didn't want to get married to her anymore, right?
Yes, because of Matt.
But because of Mr. Engarde? What do you mean?
I think I can see where this is going. She wanted to marry him. Celeste, she was Matt's manager a long time ago. She was the happiest woman in the world at the time. I was working part-time back then, and I often saw the two of them together. So that's why, with love, Celeste is written on the frame of that picture.
There were a couple, weren't they?
It wasn't anything as splendid as that. Celeste was being used. Toyed with until she was thrown away.
That's so horrible.
Matt's entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. A scandal would have destroyed that, which is why Celeste in her kindness moved over to Worldwide Studios. And that is where she met Juan. She seemed really happy with him, even happier than when she was with Matt. Celeste and Juan were such a good match that they were even planning to get married. And then, it was suddenly called off. On the night Juan called their marriage off, Celeste, she killed herself. And that's why I framed Matt. It was revenge for Celeste and for myself. I'm sure even you can guess why Juan called the wedding off, right? Matt confessed to Juan about his relationship with Celeste. I see, so that's what happened.
But then why did Mr. Creator have to call off the wedding?
I don't understand at all. It was probably because of his worthless male pride. Juan and Matt were always fierce rivals. Matt waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on Juan. He was aiming for when it would hurt Juan the most.
Poor Miss Impacts.
That wasn't the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain that Celeste left a suicide note behind. And in that note, she left a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds and... So that she would never again be hurt by Matt, she chose to die. Then when Juan discovered her body, he hid her note.
But why would he do that?
It's simple. Juan realized that note was a powerful weapon against Matt, and it would be especially damaging to his refreshing like a spring breeze image. In any case, with his pride hurt, Juan sought revenge. Revenge? There's that word again. Juan wanted to publicly disclose the contents of that suicide note. At a time that would cause Matt the most damage, of course. And that was at the press conference after the stage show. I know all about it because I heard it all from Juan. It was so I could find out about all this that I drew close to Juan to begin with. They're quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? Even Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. That night when I found Juan's body, It was only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. Those two were always spying on one another, after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. I wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. I was going to burn it. I had even brought a lighter. But I couldn't find the suicide note, and that's when revenge crossed my mind. Yes, I was going to bring to them my own kind of cruel revenge. Celeste was killed by those two monsters, so when I stabbed Juan's body with that knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt. But... and that's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, even knowing all this, are you still going to help that man? I'm a lawyer. I see. What a foul profession. Thank you very much for your time and for talking with me. It was no big deal. I couldn't sleep anyway. I can't sleep either. Not with my situation. What with I know now. To be continued.